Reinventing the wheel. So I've only got one learning that came out of this area, and I'll cut straight to the chase, and it's we need to be more yes and. And people have probably heard that expression before, there's no but people and there's yes and people. And I think as an industry, we're no but. Now, let me come back to reinventing the wheel. So when we were offered the lucky chance to go over and sit in Silicon Valley with the Google guys for a week, the question came to us, what do you guys want to do in the week? And unanimously, we all said, we just want to see the cool shit. Right? And so that's a pretty common reaction coming out of the advertising industry, working with tech companies. And I think if the advertising industry was to be encompassed as an animal at the moment, it would be a magpie. And we think about what magpies do. They sit on the sidelines and they try to spot shiny things. They swoop in, cause a bit of havoc, go back to their nest, hopefully with that shiny thing, and try and create it in their own world. And I think that's what we're trying to do at the moment when we think about reinventing the wheel. I think I started life in consulting, and I've been in advertising for over 10 years now, and going back and spending a week in Silicon Valley as well reminded me just how much our industry is obsessed with the new. We only want to do the new, stuff that's never been done before. And I think we need to be thinking more around how can we go and build on what's currently out there. And we saw many examples of that through the week, because it was less about, and I think Jason's going to talk about this a little bit later on around award shows. I think we are fueled by novelty, and we award ourselves with novelty. And that's all around new, and that's all around the latest, and having the latest thing that's come, whether it's business building or not, it doesn't really matter. It's more just around, can we pull it together and can we pull it off is the thought. We saw over and over again examples through the week around people building on people's ideas. I've got a couple of them here, and I think this one is a great one. It's not a video, but it is, some people might be familiar with this campaign from Isuzu. The whole insight or the rationale behind this was they had a new truck that they wanted to launch, and they worked out the biggest credentialing they can do is take that truck down roads that Google can't go. So everything they were doing was tracking for Google Maps new trails that the Google cars couldn't actually go down. So you realise how they have embraced what's out there at the moment. Google were very generous in handing over, obviously, the capability to go and do this. And this created a whole social platform around people that wanted to go on adventure trails like this and couldn't before. So there's some utility in there as well, but clearly it's a brand building as well around differentiating this car. I guess, again, it's less around taking something out of Silicon Valley and basically creating it in their own world. It's all around that yes and. Here's another example. So what was all that about? This is the future of shopping. This is Diane von Furstenberg, who is innovator in retail and fashion, putting herself in a Google Hangout, inviting people in there and creating a social channel around selling things on the spot in an interactive environment and creating communities around that. Now, again, it's an example of let's not go and take some cool technology and bring it in store into her world. She's moving into a world that already exists and just creating a new brand around that and creating a sales channel around that. So another brilliant example of yes and. So as I said, there's only one thing I wanted to get across, and as you go off to your agencies or wherever you're going tomorrow, think about how often you say no but to clients, no but to creatives, no but to people internally as well, and you're constantly trying to come up with something new and think about more about that yes and. Yes, that's great, and how can we go and build on that? Ben is up next.